welcome to this week's video blog. For this week's video blog, I thought we would do another look at my keeper shelf. This is an ongoing series where I take you on a little journey through that middle shelf right there. It goes all the way down to the ground. And those are the books over the years that I have loved and adored and have earned a place on my keeper shelf, and that I deemed were good enough to keep. That shelf right there, Perspective! Damn it! I can never do that right. Why can I not do this? There we go. That last shelf right there is my TBR. And this is not count. That's my paperback TBR. We ain't even talking about this. So the middle shelf is my keeper shelf, and we are going into part 8. So let's get started, and let me know if you've read any of these and if you've enjoyed them as well. So my first one is Passion's Sweet Sacrifice by Melissa Hepburn. And this is one of those epic saga sweeping, like, set in, I believe, World War II. But let's read the blurb. While the world teeters on the brink of World War I, innocent Sabrina St. Clair is brutally uprooted from her life as the Golden Girl of Washington society and thrust by fate into the midst of morally decadent France. Performing as an exotic cabaret dancer, Sabrina rises from a sordid existence on the Marseille waterfront to a celebrated position in Paris high society. Sought after by the most famous, powerful people in all of Europe, her exquisite beauty drives ruthless men to exploit her, and she soon becomes enmeshed in a vicious web of intrigue and illicit passion. At the mercy of a cruel and arrogant German general, Sabrina is forced into a life of depravity, submitting to the unspeakable desires of high-ranking officers to secure secret information, sacrificing to her very soul to save the one and only man she will ever love. Oh, this book. I loved this book. I think the guy's name was Edward? No, okay, yeah, it was Michael. Edward was a different hero. Yeah, oh my goodness. This book is so good. Set in World War I. If you love those, like, melodramatic, like, strong women who are, like, have to, like, fight to save the men that they love, and he's fighting for her too, and there's secrets and betrayals, and Passion's Sweet Sacrifice. If you love you some melodrama, you will love this book. Definitely recommend. The next one is Janelle Taylor's Kiss of the Night Wind. And let's read the back blurb, shall we? Deserting her brother's outlaw gang, Carrie Sue Stover heads to Tucson to start a new life as Carolyn Starnes, schoolmarm. Then her stage was attacked and she was rescued by a fat, devilishly handsome gunslinger, and the fiery redhead was drawn into a danger much riskier than Crossfire. Her pistol-packing hero was T.J. Rogue, and the cunning cowboy not only undressed her with one glance, he seemed to strip away her alias to reveal her illicit past. Irresistibly drawn to the sensual stranger, Carrie Sue couldn't help but delight in his embrace, even though she trusted a striking rattlesnake more than the secretive saddlebump. After years of hunting down the gangsters who killed his family, T.J. Rogue couldn't believe his luck when he came across runaway Carrie Sue Stover. The ruthless male knew just how to make the innocent-looking miss pay for his loss, first by having her love him, then by tricking her into leading T.J. to her brother and his cohorts. But somewhere between tasting her kissable lips and touching her luscious curves, the lusty avenger lost sight of his goal. Now he was a victim of the beautiful bandit's charms, and thought only of conquering her until she surrendered to the ecstasy they would share as their bodies reveled in the sensuous, seductive, Kiss of the Night Wind. This is, of course, one of those revenge. I'm going to use you to get revenge for the people who hurt me, but oh Jesus, now you give me happy pants, and now I have to decide if love is more important than my revenge. So good. So good. I remember reading this. This is a really old one, 1989. So I would have been 12 when this came out. Yeah, I remember reading it really young. I was reading really inappropriate romances when way too young before I remember, and it bothers me because I can't remember the author's name. But I remember one of the first original like romance, glitzy, sexy times books that I read was this book called Original Sin. And I remember the cover was black, I think, and there was like red lettering on it, and I think the author's name, there was an M, either that was like her first name or her last name. I cannot remember this, but I want to find it again because I want to reread it and I want to have it on my keeper shelf. But for this book specifically, loved it, totally recommend. It's one of those awesome Western romances. The next one is a V.C. Andrews with the old school covers, and it's Unchained Melody. Unchained. No, it's not the Isley Brothers? Is it the Isley Brothers who did Unchained Melody? It's not that. It's Unfinished Symphony by V.C. Andrews. I think it's Melody. Yeah, it's Melody. Melody Logan had only just found safe harbor when a new storm set her adrift all over again. Excuse me. Melody had always believed her mother, Haley, and dear stepdaddy had died in tragic accidents. That's why she'd come to stay with her secretive Logan relatives on Cape Cod. But then a friend recognized Haley's picture in a catalog and kindled Melody's hopes. Maybe her mother hadn't perished in a fire in California after all, but was in some desperate trouble that kept her out of reach. Melody's dream of finding her mother seemed as flimsy as the scrap of paper that was her only clue, and despite the pampered life Melody was offered as a guest in a Beverly Hills mansion, nothing could soften the blow of the moment she stood face to face with her mother and saw her eyes turn dark and cold as stones. Melody knew there must be a reason why her mother pretended at first not to recognize her, and why she'd even faked her own death. Though Melody's beloved Carrie beckoned from Cape Cod, she felt in her heart that her mother needed her now more than ever, and beneath her mother's unkept promises and tattered fantasies, Melody hoped to unearth the truth about her own past and find her way to a safer, better place where she could embrace a bright new future of her own. So 99% of V.C. Andrews' heroines have mommy issues. Like, seriously. And yep, this is the third book in the Logan series, which I also is one of the V.C. Andrews series that I enjoy. Now, I thought that, I think it was that V.C. Andrews had died after the Ruby series, but no, apparently, and I learned this after watching the Heaven Lifetime series that they made of the Lifetime movies that they'd made of the Heaven series, Heaven, Dark Angel, Fallen Hearts, Gates of Paradise, and Web of Dreams. I learned that V.C. Andrews actually died halfway through, I think, Fallen Hearts. Or is Dark Angel the second one? She died halfway through writing the second one. And so the whole remainder of Heaven and every series that came after that was the estate that had hired the ghostwriter to sort of emulate V.C. Andrews' style. And they did, whoever they hired then did an amazing job, because with the Dawn series, with the Melody series, and with the Ruby series, it feels all like in that same sort of flavor of V.C. Andrews. The later books after Ruby, I find, don't, like, the story kind of structure is the same, and the character kind of archetypes are the same, but there's just this something, this flavor of something that's just not the same. They're good, like, they're enjoyable, but they're not the same. And whoever this author was, who picked up the Middle of the Heaven series and who carried it on up to, I think, Ruby, the Ruby series, was that guy, I believe it was a guy, knew V.C. Andrews' voice and knew the rhythm of, the lyricism of her words and that kind of thing. So yeah, but Unfinished Symphony, one of my series of V.C. Andrews that I love, and it's got the insert covers, which I love. So definitely recommend that one. Oh, the next one is Galen Foley's Lady of Desire, and it has an insert cover as well, and it's an awesome insert cover. Look at that! She's like up there looking at him like, yes, you may kiss my hand. It's not like a oh, shrinking little violet, like, oh, you kiss my hand, oh, how cute. But no, it's like, yeah, you get on your knees and you kiss that hand. I love that insert cover! That's awesome! Oh my goodness! And in case you can't tell, it's historical. So let's read the back blurb, shall we? Impetuous Lady Jacinda Knight is the daughter of a scandalous woman. Though society predicts she'll follow in her mother's footsteps, the spirited beauty stands unashamed of her passionate nature. Then one night, in flight from an arranged and loveless marriage, Jacinda finds herself alone on a dangerous street, face to face with Billy Blade, the notorious leader of a band of thieves. His stolen kisses awaken in her a longing for a man she can never possess. A handsome scoundrel running from a secret past, Billy Blade has never met a woman like Jacinda. Her fiery innocence and blossoming sensuality set his rebel's heart ablaze. Having turned his back on the privilege of his tyrannical father's house years before, he vows to return to reclaim his title, Earl of Rackford, to win the love of the ravishing beauty who has stolen his heart. I don't remember this story, but I love that insert cover. And I don't remember what happens here, but I think eventually I will have to like reread it to refresh my memory, because I love those whole sort of like he turned his back on his world of privilege, and now he has to go back and to sort of, I wonder if it's sort of a her having like to teach him how to be like a lord again kind of thing, because those are always fun. But yeah, Lady of Desire, and just let's just look at it again. Look at that, like, oh, that's just perfection. And the last one is Penny Jordan's Love's Choices. And Penny Jordan was the queen of Harlequin melodrama crazy sauce. And we sadly lost her a few years ago, and but she's one of my favorites. At the hands of Alexei Servais, Hope Stanford had discovered that the world could be hers for a price. Revenge had been Alexei's burning desire, and Hope his means of attaining it. Her sheltered upbringing had only made the challenge more sweet. Now Alexei was back, and this time Hope would make sure that if he wanted her again, he would be the one to pay the price. Yes! I remember this. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Alexei is a bastard. Like, grade A, non-PC, completely inappropriate bastard. But that's what you get to see his journey to becoming a better man. I don't think he ever becomes this, like, upstanding, you know, I think he remains a bit of an a-hole. But, oh, she serves him up, like, yeah, after, like, he does what he does, he meets his match with her when he decides that, like, he wants her and, like, for himself, and like loves her now, and she's like, you son of a, you think that blah 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 blah. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so inappropriate. It's so, when was it written? Dear Lord, please tell me, like, the 70s or something. 84. Yeah, that's about right. 1984. So yeah, Penny Jordan, Love's Choices, so good. Highly recommend. Get it. Yeah, so that's going to be it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you read any of those books. What did you think of them? And yep, subscribe here for more videos. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!